Welcome to Tech Topics. My name is Stephanie, and I'm an assistive technology and activity specialist with Future Insight. I hope that you will like our channel, subscribe, and check back frequently for more content. Today is all about basic navigation using Microsoft key commands in Word. This is going to be appropriate whether you have low vision and you're still using a mouse for part of the time, but you might want some keyboard commands when you have eye strain or eye fatigue. The key commands can often get you there more efficiently and quicker. And as well as if you use a screen reader such as JAWS NVDA or Windows Narrator. These Microsoft key commands are good no matter what your circumstances are. We're going to focus on basic navigation, and this will mean reading character by character, word by word, line by line, moving down a page, up a page, and also how to select text and move it around, etc. Let's dig in. So I am in Word here, and I have a document I called riddles. I just pulled a bunch of riddles from the internet and pasted them in here. So we're going to have a little, entertainment while we learn. So the first thing you want to remember is it's good when you need to open up an application, you can always press the Windows key, no matter what. You can press that Windows key and it brings up a search field, and you can start typing in whatever application you want. In this case, it was Word. And once you hear it and it starts to auto-populate visually, you can press Enter, and then you will move into your Word document. All right, you could press Enter for a blank document, or you can search for your previous viewed documents, or you can also get into any documents if we're talking about just reading them. You could press your Windows E and go to Explorer, and then go to Documents in there and find whatever document you wish to read. You'll start to notice that some of these Microsoft Windows key commands carry over into other circumstances. For example, I'm talking about basic navigation with Microsoft commands. I'm using Word. However, most of this will also be true whether you're trying to navigate inside an email from somebody, or you're on a website and you want to navigate in some of these ways, that these Microsoft key commands will work across the different applications, as well as using, whether you use a mouse and you want to use some keyboard commands or a screen reader. They're Microsoft key commands. The first thing you might want to do after you've opened up a document that has some text in it is go to the top. We don't want to start in the middle or the bottom. We want to always start at the top for orientation. So to do that, you'd hold down the Control key and press the Home key at the same time, and then release. So Control plus Home.
Top, blank.
And you notice it said top and it said blank, and you can see that it's blank at the top. There's some space there. Likewise, if I want to move to the end, right, maybe I need to get something, somebody's signature or something at the bottom of a document. To get to the end quickly, you can do Control and the End key. End key. So Control plus the End key. I'll do that now.
Page 3, bottom, end.
Notice it said page 3, bottom. It told me a few things here. I've got 3 pages of these crazy riddles. And I'm at the bottom now. But let's go to the top again with Control and the Home key.
Page 1, top.
All right, so let's talk about, we're going to break this down. First, we want to move ahead character by character. If you want to move forward character by character, you just hit the right arrow by itself.
C, L, A, S, S, I, C, space.
Spelled classic.
B, R, A, I, N, space.
Brain. All right, I'll stop there. If you want to move to the previous character by character, you just hit the left arrow and you're going to go backwards.
N, I, A, R, B, space, C, I, S, S, A, L, C.
Okay.
Charlie.
Now, to move forward word by word, we already used the right arrow to go character by character. To move ahead word by word, we add the Control key. So we're going to hold Control down, and every time we're just going to keep pumping out that right arrow as we hold the control key down, and we'll move ahead word by word. I'll do that now.
Brain. Teasers. Blank. What is full of holes, but still holds water? Question. Blank. Answer. Colon. A. Sponge. Period.
There you go. I thought you'd like to hear the whole riddle. So that we moved forward word by word. Now, if you want to move to previous word by word, you already know to listen to or move character by character. Previously, we hit the left arrow. So if we add control to the left arrow, we're going to go to the previous word by word. I will hold down the control key and keep pumping out the left arrow.
Sponge. A. Colon. Answer. Blank. Question. Water. Holds. Still. But. Holes. Of. Full. Is. What?
Okay. So that is that. Now, the next thing is how to move ahead line by line. We will go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit the arrow down key this time. The arrow down will move ahead line by line.
White bullet answer colon A sponge. Bullet, what question can you never answer yes to?
Oh, I'll slow down my speech.
Slower.
Okay.
White bullet bullet, what question can you never answer yes to?
What question can you never answer yes to? And I'm arrowing down to move ahead line by line.
White bullet answer colon quote, are you asleep yet?
Are you asleep
Quote.
yet? You can never say yes to that because you're technically asleep unless you sleep talk. All right, so arrow down moves ahead line by line. If we want to move previously to previous line by line, we arrow up.
Bullet, what question can you never answer yes to?
And I'll move previous again.
White bullet answer colon A sponge. Bullet, what is full of holes but still holds water?
Okay, what is full of holes? It still holds water? A sponge. I moved previously to line by line. Okay, so now we can move ahead. Now let's go to how do you get to the beginning of a line or the end of a line? So I'm going to put us in the middle of a line. I'll move ahead word by word, holding control plus right arrow.
Is full of.
All right, this is that what is full of holes but still holds water. So I'm in the middle of that. And this time I want to go to the beginning of a line, just the line. So I would hit just the home key. All right, so control home brings us all the way to the top, but home brings us to the beginning of the line, not the sentence, the line. So I'll press the home key.
Home. W.
And it even said the W in what? So I knew, oh yeah, that's the beginning, that's the first word. Okay, now maybe I want to go to the end of a line. All right, so if I go to control end, it brings me to the whole end of the entire document, or the bottom of something. Then just the end key brings me to the end of a line, and I'll go ahead and do that now. I'm going to press the end key, E-N-D, end key by itself.
End. Blank.
Okay, and it said blank because there's some space at the end there. All right, I would have to left arrow to see, okay, where's the character that would be at the end of this line.
Question.
And there's a question mark, okay? All right, now, how do we move page down? Well, let's start at the top. We're going to go to Control Home to bring us to the very top of the document.
Top. Blank.
Okay.
Exit list.
Now I want to go to the second page. I'm going to do a Control page down.
Page 2. White bullet answer colon.
All right, and now I'm on page 2. So I skipped ahead a lot, didn't I? So I could arrow down and hear the next line in page 2.
Bullet, David's father has 3 sons colon snap, crackle, and what's the third son's name?
Oh my.
Entering list. White bullet answer colon David. Entering list.
David has 3 sons. Snap, crackle, and who? David?
Bullet, amen.
I don't know if I get that joke.
Bullet,
A
David's
riddle.
father has 3
Oh,
sons.
David's father. Okay. All right. You guys are going to laugh at me. David's father has 3 sons. Snap, crackle, and who? Snap, crackle, and David. I like that. All righty. So that was page 2. Maybe I want to go to the bottom of the whole document. Control end.
Page 3. Bottom.
All right. I'm on the bottom of page 3. What if I want to go to page 2? I'll do control page up.
Page 2.
And
What?
then what if I want to get to page 1 again? Instead of going control home, I could do control page up,
Page 1. Blank.
and now I'm at top of page 1. All right. So now you say, oh, there's some funny jokes in here. What if you want to highlight them or select them? Now, just to let you know that the word highlight is often used by people who have some vision, and how things are highlighted visually so that, you can then move, copy or paste or things like that. But if you use a screen reader, people use the word select, right? I selected the text and then I copied or pasted it. So highlight and select are often used interchangeably in this fashion. All right, so I want to highlight or select some text so that I can move it. I'm going to go to page 2. I'm going to go to control page down to go to page 2.
Page 2. White.
Now I'm going to arrow up a line. I want to go to the bottom of page 1 and see what's at the bottom here. I'm going to go up a couple of lines with arrow up.
Page 1. White bullet answer bullet. The more of this you take. White bullet answer.
Here we go.
Bullet. The more of this you take, the more you leave behind.
The
What
more
is it?
the more of this you take, the
Entering
more
list.
you leave behind. I'm going to arrow down once just so we can hear the answer.
White bullet answer footsteps.
Footsteps. All right. So maybe I want to move this riddle, the question, but I'm not going to include the answer and make people, I wanted people to think about it, right? I want to select or highlight the question. So I'm going to arrow back up onto the question.
Bullet. The more of this you take, the more you leave behind.
I'm also going to make sure I'm at the beginning of that line so I don't miss out on anything. So I'm going to just press the home key by itself to go to the beginning of the line.
Home. T.
All right, so
Entering list.
I could select character by character. So if we read ahead character by character by pressing the right arrow, then selecting or highlighting character by character, I add the shift key. When you want to select or highlight, you got to add the shift key. So I'm going to press shift plus right arrow.
Bullet. T. H. E. Selected. Space. M. O. R. E. Selected.
All right, so I selected character by character the words the and more. Okay. Now let's say I'm going to continue on, but let's select word by word. Well, we know that control right arrow moves us ahead word by word, but I want to select or highlight word by word ahead. So I'm going to add that shift key to control plus right arrow. So now I have to hold control plus shift plus right arrow, and I'm going to do that.
Space. Of. This. You. Take.
All
Selected.
right. The more of this you take. I did the more, selecting by character. Then I did of this you take by selecting word by word with control shift right arrow. But maybe I just want to select line by line. All right, I'm actually going to grab the rest of this just so I'm going to grab the rest of this word by word. So I'm going to do control shift right arrow.
Comma. The more you leave behind. Period.
Okay, the more of this you take,
Selected.
the more you leave behind. I selected all that. Now I say, well, I'm going to be nice. I want to also select or highlight the answer as well. So now I want to just get down to business and select, line by line. So I would, reading line by line ahead is arrow down. But if you want to select or highlight, you got to add that shift to it. So it's shift plus arrow down together. Let's do that.
Selected. What is it? Question. White bullet answer footsteps. Period.
Footsteps. Let's keep
Entering
going.
list.
I'm going to keep holding down shift and arrow down.
Selected. Bullet. What word is always spelled incorrectly? Question. Selected. White bullet answer the word incorrectly period.
Okay, so I have now selected line by line, that second little riddle. All right, so we now learned how to select character by character, select or highlight word by word, and then select or highlight line by line. Now let's talk about what can we do with it? Well, we want to be able to cut, copy, or paste, right? So this is another thing that might be familiar across other applications when you're using, whether you use Word or whether you use Outlook, etc. All right, you're going to be able to cut, copy, and paste with these same key commands because they are Microsoft key commands. All right. So we have to think about those last four letters in the, when you have your QWERTY keyboard, the last lower left letters of the alphabet on the keyboard, which is above the row where the space bar is. From left to right, you have Z, X, C, V. Z like Zulu, X, C like Charlie, V like Victor. Z, X, C, V. When you put them in conjunction with the control key, you will do different tasks, depending on which one you pick. So if I want to copy, I would do Control C to copy. And think about that as copy starts with C. A little copyright sign has a little C. So that's what Control C would do. It would copy. It would leave it here in this list of riddles, but I could also then move it to a new location and it would still remain here. If I wanted to cut it, that would be Control X. And you can think of that X as the crisscross of the scissors as they're cutting, so Control X to cut, and that would remove it from where I have it in this document, and it would put it somewhere else without it being here anymore, okay? And then I can paste by doing Control V like Victor, hold down Control, press V, and then release. And that V, I think of a bottle of glue, not a glue stick, but a bottle with a little pointy tip. And if you point it upside down to squeeze out the glue, it looks like a V. So Control V could be paste. All right, and then the Control Z is like a zigzag, right? You just kind of scrub. You can undo the last task. You can kind of erase. You know, when you scrub, you erase the zigzag and the Z. So you can erase the last task you did by pressing Control plus Z. But I'm going to move this. I have these couple of riddles highlighted or selected. I'm going to copy them. Let's do a Control C for copy.
Copied.
All right, now I think I'll put them at the top. If I want to put them at the top of this document, you could really go anywhere from here and paste it anywhere. But for today's lesson, we're going to stay within Word, okay? So I'm going to go to the top of this whole document with a Control plus Home at the same time.
Top. Blank.
All right, and there is a blank line there. There's a blank line there, so I'm going to paste Control V like Victor at the same time.
Pasted.
Now let's
Paste
go.
recovery.
Let's go to the
Paste.
top again.
Group.
I'm gonna.
Top.
There we go.
Set.
Now let's hear what we've got. I'm gonna read line by line with the arrow up and down key.
Group.
Go.
Set default paste dot dot dot.
Oops,
One
hold on.
leaving level
Sorry,
1 white
a menu
bullet
came up.
Group.
I had a pop up.
Group. Set default paste dot dot leaving as top.
Here we go.
Bullet. The more of this you take, the more you leave behind.
All right,
What is
so
it?
it's now at the top, and the way we can tell is if I arrow up again.
Bullet. The more of this you take.
Do you hear that little bling with it? A little bling.
Bullet. The more of
That means there's nothing above this. This is at the top. So let's just hear it this time.
Bullet. The more of this you take, the more you leave behind. White bullet. Answer colon footsteps.
Footsteps. Arrow down.
Entering list.
Gonna arrow down to read line by line.
Bullet. What word is always spelled incorrectly? White bullet. Answer colon the word quote incorrectly quote.
Incorrectly, because you always have to spell that word in that way. All right, so let's see. So we copied it, but is it still in the document? It's at the top now, but is it still in this document? Well, these were the riddles at the bottom of page, was it 1 and the beginning of page 2, I believe. So let's do a control page down.
Page 2. White bullet. Answer
And let's arrow up a bit.
Page 1.
Arrowing up reads previous line by line.
Logic and wordplay. White bullet. Answer colon a towel.
Okay, let's
Logic
go down.
and wordplay riddles. Bullet. What starts with AT, ends with AT. Bullet. The more of this you take,
There it is.
the more you leave behind. White bullet. Answer colon footsteps. Bullet. What word is always spelled incorrectly? White bullet. Answer colon the word quote incorrectly quote.
Okay, so it's still there. All right, so selecting and copying works like that. Now let's say I want to undo that last task. I can do a Control Z and it will no longer be at the top, but it would still be in the middle of this document because I didn't cut it, I only copied it. So I want to uncopy that last task with the Control Z. I'm going to do that now.
Undo. Page 1.
Now let's go to page 1.
Classic brain teaser. Blank.
And it's not there anymore. I'll arrow down.
Classic brain teasers. Bullet, what is full of holes but
Okay,
still?
it's not there anymore. We undid that last task. All right, if you want to copy something, cut something, apologies. If you want to cut something, well, let's arrow down line by line.
White bullet and bullet, what?
I want to get to a different one we haven't heard.
White bullet, what has many keys but can't open a single lock?
What has many keys but can't open a single lock? I'm going to arrow down.
White bullet, answer colon, a piano.
A piano. All right, let's cut this joke. I'm going to arrow up.
Bullet, what has many keys but can't?
So I'm on that line, but I want to make sure I'm at the beginning of the line. So I'm going to press the home key by itself.
Home.
And then I want to select line by line. It's quicker, right? You want the whole line. So I'm going to press Shift to select or highlight and press arrow down for the line by line.
Selected. Bullet, what has many keys but can't open a single lock? Question.
And we'll include the answer. I'm going to do it again.
Selected. White bullet, answer colon, a piano, period.
All right, a piano. This time I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to do Control X at the same time to cut.
Cut.
Now let's put it at the bottom. All right, let's move it to the bottom. And I'm going to do that by going to Control End. Press the Control plus the End key.
Bottom. End of a rainbow.
All right.
Answer colon, the letter.
Now I'm going to make sure I'm at the end of this line because I heard some text. I just don't want to have this inserted in the middle. So I'm going to hit End to make sure I'm at the end of that, whatever text was at the bottom.
End.
Then I'm going to press Enter just to be safe.
Enter. Page break list.
So Enter goes down a line. I'll do Enter one more for good measure.
Enter.
And
Bullet.
now I'm going to press the Control V to paste it.
Pasted. Page 4. Entering list.
All right, now I'm going to
Paste
arrow
group.
up.
Group. Paste options. Escape. Entering list. Page 4.
Now you hear that? If I do
Paste
the
group.
if I arrow down a bunch,
Group. Paste op. Group.
Yeah.
Leave.
you hear that ding ding?
Bullet.
That means there's nothing below this. So I'm going to arrow up line by line.
One answer code. Page 3. Bullet, what has many keys but can't open a single lock? Page 4. One answer colon, a piano.
A piano. Okay. So now we moved it. We cut it out of the middle entirely and we put it at the very bottom. So when is cutting and pasting and all this important? Not only can you have good jokes you can share with friends, but it's very important maybe if you need to know how to spell a name and you want to copy that name or the title of a book, you want to get the accurate title of the book and you can navigate over, character by character, get to the actual name of the book, and then you can select maybe the book title word by word, right? Control Shift right arrow, and then you can, do a Control C to copy it and bring it over to wherever you want, right? Whether it's really in a Word document or maybe an email to somebody, and you're saying, hey, this is a great book selection. Here's the title and author, and you pasted it right there in the email or wherever you wish. All right, I'll do one more example by doing Control Home to go to the top.
Page 1.
And let's pick out something in the middle. We'll pretend that we need a valuable piece of information in the middle of a line. I'm going to arrow down a couple of lines.
Classic brain. Bullet, what is full of holes but still holds water?
Okay, maybe I only want the words holds water. What is full of holes but still holds water? I'm going to read ahead word by word. I'm going to move ahead word by word. Control right arrow.
Is full of holes but still.
All right, I know the next words are holds water. So I'm going to select or highlight word by Control Shift right arrow.
Still holds.
I've got,
Selected.
yep, it's selected. Now I can copy that with a Control C
Copied.
and we'll put it at the top. I'm going to do Control Home
Top. Blank.
and we're going to
Exit
do a
list.
Control V to paste.
Pasted.
Okay. And now
Still holds.
still holds is right there at the top. You heard because bling, there's nothing above it. But that's how you can copy and paste or cut and paste something in the center of a line and move it. So you've heard some reasons why that might be important to get accurate spelling of locations, places, people, that sort of thing when you want to send those along to others. So I hope you've enjoyed some of this basic navigation with Microsoft Office keys, Microsoft Windows keys, and we've learned how to read ahead or move ahead character by character, move backwards previous character by character. We've learned how to read ahead or move ahead word by word, control right arrow or move backwards word by word, control left arrow. We read ahead line by line, arrowing down. We read previous line or move ahead up line by line with the up arrow. We can move ahead page by page by control page down or move to the previous page, control page up. And then we can select, right, all those versions, character, word, line, by adding that shift key to it. And we learned how to cut, copy, and paste. And we can also move to the very beginning of a document or the very end of a document. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tech topic, and I hope you enjoy navigating through your Microsoft Word documents or wherever you may land, and give it a try.